I don't know if I mentioned this the last time we were talking, but I mean, I was probably one of the first anorexics before they even coined the word. Because as I started to develop body fat when I was about 12 years old, I found it utterly disgusting. And I knew that this would make me unlovable, you know. I mean, I was very sensitive to the, again, I'll use the word propaganda that our society was giving me. And not consciously, I mean, like I say, they didn't even have a word for anorexia yet. But so I'm very much a sponge and very acute to these messages that are being put down in culture. So what I want to do is flip them on their face so that we can really look at them. I want to turn them upside down. I want to make fun of them. I want to, you know, and I'm learning more and more about, through some books on Chaplin, about what parody is, what social commentary is, how he used that, how Chaplin used that, and something really interesting I came across was how, like, you know, how political cartoons, they're not considered high art by most people, and never will be. So actually, because they are a base art form, they have the right to speak to or criticize that which is base in culture. That's the form. The form fits the message. So I think that's another reason why I've always chosen this kind of kitschy Elvis stuff, because it seems to be the proper medium to scream to people, you know, hey, you all are a bunch of, you know, white trash obsessed with how you look, you know, for the most part. And I don't mean to offend any of you at Stanford or Yale. I know that you have perfect pedigree, and even your mommy from West Virginia is certainly not white trash. But anyway, just kidding.
Well, I mean, is there something about Elvis the man that makes him a good candidate to, you know, play the parts in all of these scenarios that you create?
Oh yeah, I think he's a perfect paradox of
Just start with Elvis again.
Yeah, yeah, Elvis is definitely a perfect paradox of kitschy and glamorous. I mean, he managed to straddle all the worlds. You know, he went into the juke joints and black culture and brought that out and said, look, isn't this exciting, to the white little kids who knew it was there, and he fused them both together, for which, you know, of course the blacks have every right to dislike Elvis, because he was just this pretty white face who sang like a bird, who could go infiltrate their culture and rubber stamp it and then make it all okay and get popular and make millions of dollars with it. But the thing that's fascinating to me is that he did go through all the social strata, you know, from poverty, you know, to and the way he groomed himself, the way he became a idol, you know, from taking care of his hair when he was in high school to always pressing his clothes neatly, you know, sort of things we should all take a little more concern about here. But, you know, then how he became what he had hoped to become, you know, this incredible icon, you know, how he somehow instinctively knew how to get there is even interesting to me.
I think you said last time you said something about that he was you were interested by him because you would look at pictures of him and he was very readable or vulnerable in some way, and that, you know, other celebrities kind of were taught or, you know, able to edit those out of their kind of like public persona, but somehow you could just read whatever you wanted to read into him. And I'm sure that has, you know, some kind of significance as to like how you are able to put him into all these scenarios, that, you know, all these worlds that you create.
Mm-hmm. That's probably true, and that's probably why I picked him first. I mean, although I also like to, you know, use the Beatles to make fun of our pop culture in different ways. I probably did pick Elvis first because I would look at the pictures of him, and yeah, he did seem to have a lot of walls that probably didn't come up till the end of his life. And how he accomplished that, I don't know. Maybe that was partly spiritual. Maybe that was partly that he felt like he didn't need to protect himself, because he had some kind of core that was, would take him through the different changes of, pressure around him and something to equalize him.
Mm-hmm.